Hey everyone, Elias here from We Aim for Self-Defense. Got a new patrons only instructional video for you all. Last week we talked about what to do if you're inexperienced or completely ignorant of guns and you come across a revolver, how to check if there's indicators if it has cartridges or bullets in it, and how to safely unload it so that you can make the gun completely safe. All right, in that context, we have the same revolver. We have it in a holster covering the trigger to make it safe. This gun is also, as we'll show in a second, has been cleared, so there's no cartridges in here. In that instance though, we were dealing with a firearm, if you want to zoom in you can, where it wasn't cocked. It looks as it does here. Right. We practiced and learned how to open up this wheel to check that everything's cleared, how to turn it upside down, release the cartridges, make it safe, and that's good. It's very, that was like a loaded gun, but it was a different situation than if you come across a revolver and it's cocked. That's so. All right. So this gun is empty and cleared and safe. In this instance, we're going to deal with coming across this type of gun. A lot of people, even folks who have owned guns for a while, they seem to think that at this point, if there were cartridges in the wheel, that the only way to clear this would to be pulling the trigger. Okay, it isn't, and it's very important to be able to decock this. This is a double action, single action revolver. We can talk more about that in future videos. But it's very important if you come across a revolver and you want to make it safe and it's cocked, that you know how to decock it safely and other than just firing. Because the whole idea here is we want to make this safe and we want to be able to not fire this gun in this hypothetical. Also, last week's video in this instance won't work, at least for this type of gun. If I start pressing this wheel release, it won't open up, all right? So last week's video instructions won't even work if it's cocked. We're just dealing with a Smith & Wesson snub nose revolver here. It's an air weight using chambered for 38 special cartridges. Just for from reference, different guns will have different situations, right? So we can't even get the ammunition out of here if it's cocked, and we don't want to shoot it. We don't just want to like aim it somewhere, shoot it, and then say, okay, now let's open it up, clear it out. Okay, so when it's cocked, it's going to be more of like a hair trigger, all right? We'll talk about what I'm doing right now in a second. But if we zoom in here, we look at the trigger. See how it's forward to a certain instance. Now keep your eye on that trigger. I'm going to cock it. Trigger goes back, all right? If I'm here, and again, this gun is empty. If I pull from here, it's a longer pull, and then it'll fire. If it's cocked, much quicker pull, all right? So it's a more dangerous gun. More easily fired gun when it's cocked. Okay. So I'm going to talk about what we do. Right now I'm going to take my thumb. I'm going to pull back on this hammer. Okay. What we want to avoid is this firing pin hitting really fast, and that'll set a chain of events to fire the gun. All right. So I'm going to pull back here. I'm going to place a finger inside. All right, in case this index finger of mine slips. We'll pull back with the thumb, place another finger between the hammer and the rest of the gun, and we're gonna press the trigger. From there, we release slowly, and it won't fire. Once again, we cock it. We don't want to fire, we want to decock this safely without firing anything. Press a finger between the hammer and the rest of the gun. Pull back with our thumb, with our index finger. Pull the trigger back, release this softly. At that point, we can then press the button to release, tap on the other side, open up, release the chambers, and we'll have an empty gun. Thank you all, stay safe.